Namaskar everybody, and thank you very much for your kind words, quite humbled. Thank you Gurvi Anilji for inviting me. Anil has been my mentor in the corporate world and also now a spiritual teacher. Every Saturday he takes a class for us, so thank you for that as well. This is indeed a very nostalgic moment for me because in the founding years of Soil, I was somewhat involved and I vividly remember the struggle we had to inculcate and integrate the values of compassion, balance, awareness, ethic with the curricula, the sanctity of the morning circles, the social innovation projects that I could mentor. It was a great learning experience, for me. And I'm sure the institute has evolved and you must have learned even much more. तो आप सबको पहले हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं. आपके parents को भी in a few hours from now you'll step out and embrace a whole new world of dreams and aspirations. So may God be with you in that. When Anand wrote to me saying, can you speak to our students, I was a little bit nervous and hesitant. I'll tell you why. And I was saying, 40 साल हो गए जब मैं उस side पे था. It's been quite a long time. So how will I relate to what you people want to hear? What can add value to you as you step into the corporate world? And I thought maybe how can we navigate the corporate hubris, as I call it, outside. The whirlpool of emotions that must be going through your mind. You're leaving relationships behind, the campus behind. You're wondering, will the future be a continuity of the past? Will expectations from me change just because I hold a management degree? Is the responsibility very burdensome, etc., etc.? So I'll try my best to share a few stories. I love to narrate stories which have taught me a lot from my professional career. Hopefully they'll be useful to you. But before that, I must say that you are very fortunate. Not only because you're graduating from this prestigious institute, which is very close to some of our hearts because it builds character, as Anilji said, but also you're graduating at a time when the world is experiencing a new, resurgent India. So I'll give you some facts and figures just to do a contrast so you appreciate what's happening. So in 1947, we had about 513 municipalities, about 34 crores of population, 6% literacy rate, and today we have 1874 municipalities, 77% literacy rate, 140 crores going to 170 crores, the biggest consumer market in the world today. Our economy from 1 trillion 2007 to about 4 trillion now, and perhaps about 40 trillion by 2050. Many years back, people used to look at a green card for the US, a PR for Canada. The Indian passport will become one of the most powerful passports in the years to come. This is the new India. Hyper-scaling of industries. In, I think, 2014, there were about 350 startups. Now you have 90,000 with about 100 unicorns in India. We have a seat on the table in international geopolitics. Earlier we were aligned, non-aligned, this way, that way, but now we are saying, har do zaruri hai. So it depends on what side we choose, which will help further our political and our economic interests. Right? It's a very different country right now. I mean, look at the opportunities around you. I'm not even talking about AI and technology. There's health tech, fintech, agri-tech, e-commerce, logistics, F&B, movies, fashion. None of these existed when we were graduating. None of these. So be thankful. Please live in gratitude. The depth of opportunities available to you is quite mind-boggling. So make the most of it. Right? One of the debates I often hear students go through a dilemma is कि जो कुछ सीखा है वो कितना यूज में आने वाला है. Is the corporate world a totally different world from what you have learned in academia? My humble submission is don't even waste 30 seconds on this useless debate. There's a much deeper correlation than you can think of. If you really have internalized the concepts, understood the structures, you'll find they are very handy tools. Let me give you a live example. So when I went to INSEAD, and we were blessed with great faculty. We had a professor who was overseeing the merger of Hewlett-Packard and Compaq at that point of time. There was one Israeli gentleman who was helping Nelson Mandela negotiate his terms of freedom. So that kind of people were teaching us. And there was a Sri Lankan professor who taught us about a company called MAS Holdings. And I got so inspired. And when I came back to life insurance, we took out an innovation called Max Vijay. If I have time, I'll speak about it as I go along. That was inspired by what I learned. Even today, when we do project evaluation, business ideas, we go back to IRR, ROCE, DCF. These are quite handy tools, so don't make the mistake of thinking these two are disconnected. They're very deeply correlated, but the onus is on you कि आप कितना apply कर सकते हैं. So don't debate on this, right? So let me share with you 3 or 4 things now, and I want to begin with a story. So many years back, Anilji took us to Chinmaya Mission to hear a address by Swami Sarvapriyananda, and they were launching a series called Upanishad Ganga. And we saw one episode, and I saw all the 52 after that. That left a very, very deep impact on me even today. And that's my first message for you: kill the fear. This is a story of Tansen. You heard about Tansen, all of you? He's a musician in whose court? Akbar's court. He used to play very well, extremely, well. But he had a guru called Guru Haridas. And Akbar said, "Ki aapko to bahut sun liya, I want to hear your guru." And Tansen said, "The guru does not play for anybody." So very difficult. But Akbar wanted to hear Guru Haridas. So Tansen said, "A condition hai, you can come with me but dress as my servant, not as a king." So they went to Guru Haridas. And Guru Haridas only used to play for Lord Krishna and Radha, nobody else. So one day went past, 2 days went past, the Guru was not came. And Tansen got very anxious. यार मेरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या होगा, प्रमोशन का क्या होगा, नौकरी जाएगी, अब तो प्ले ही नहीं कर रहे. So one day in desperation, he picked up his tanpura and started playing, and he missed a few notes deliberately. And the Guru got very angry. And he picked up the tanpura and started playing, and he played so well that Akbar started crying. Then he put the tanpura aside and said, "King, come over here." And Akbar was shocked because the Guru had realized that the king was here, and he said, "Tansen is my disciple. He couldn't have gone wrong in playing the instrument. I knew he was doing it deliberately." And Akbar asked him, "But how come you are able to play so well?" He says, "Because I play for the Lord. I don't play for your happiness, your applause, and the reward that you will give me. So I have no fear in my heart." So when you have no fear, you will have excellence. So speak up. Have a voice in the corporation. Collect your perspectives. Have courage of conviction. Don't be afraid. This notion of trying to manage your supervisor or manage the environment is all bullshit. Manage your performance. Be authentic. Authenticity trumps brilliance. All of you have a unique capability, a special ability. Don't let fear cloud it. So kill the fear. That's my first, humble request of you. Second is an acronym that I have coined over the years as I stepped into spiritual life. It's called N3. The first N stands for Nirman. Man is what? Ego. Kill the ego. Right? Because Abhiman says what? Abhi mujhe maan do. That's the ego. Ego is the biggest obstacle to growth in your career. It comes in the way of learning. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Sometimes you feel, "Main pooch lunga to I'll be inadequate." Not at all. There is so much information, so many perspectives. Unless you ask for help, unless you reach out, you will not be able to make a good decision. So don't let ego come in the way. When I was struggling with the concept of blockchain or AI, I asked my young son, who did McKinsey, saying, "समझा दो मुझको एक बार यार. What's the harm? Doesn't make you feel chota or inadequate. So don't let that come in the way. Ask for help when required." The second N, is Nirvan. Van is Vani, Nirvan. So listen. Listen to the customer. Listen to the frontline person. Listen to competition. Listen to regulator. Insighting is a very rare competence. It will give you jewels of wisdom. Let me give you some examples. So when I was with healthcare, when you run an ambulance service, right? What do you track? Turnaround time. कितनी जल्दी एम्बुलेंस पहुंच गई जहाँ से फोन आया. That's what you track. But the driver said, "साहब, हमारा मकसद जल्दी पहुंचना नहीं है. हमारा मकसद जान बचाना है. So please track us on lives saved." What a beautiful insight. So we put up a huge dashboard in emergency saying lives saved today. That gave so much pride to the driver and the technician that is not in the business of driving the ambulance, the business of saving lives. It came from them, not from us. And that's the beauty of an insight. Walk the street. Way back in the early 90s, if you recall, now you're used to, full day banking, 10 to 7. But in the early 90s, banking was 10 to 2. Right? The bank closed after 2 o'clock. So when we opened our first branch in Bank of America in retail, our CEO went around asking the traders in Connaught Place, कि क्या दिक्कत है आपको? And they said, सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जब हमारा दुकान बंद करने का टाइम होता है, they only go, we have money to deposit, your bank is closed. So we said, can we open the bank 10 to 7? And hell broke loose. We're an American bank, they said, that's compliance, you're not an essential service, you can't open after 2. But our CEO was very adamant. And I remember going to the late Shri Arun Jaitley ji east of Kailash's office. And we finally found a way of making banking 10 to 7. We were the first bank. So courage of conviction, but came from a customer insight. So Nirman, please listen carefully, right? And the third N is Nirman, and Gurpreet spoke about it. See, the days of individual heroism are over. Everything is about collaboration. Unless you have collaborative networks inside and outside the organization, you will not be able to excel. Take any example. From a task like introducing a new product in the market. You have to understand what the customer wants, pricing, technology, operations. Everything has to come together, even a mundane task like putting up a MIS. You'll need to get data from zillions of sources, analyze and present for decision making. So nothing can be done without collaboration. Right? Leadership is a contact sport. Leadership is a team sport. Please remember that. And the second part of Nirman or building something is understanding the business fundamentals, and I learned them the hard way. Actually, कोई इतना rocket science है ही नहीं. All you need to answer is 8 questions. Who are our customers? What are their unsolved pain points? How can I reach them? Why will they come to us? At what price will they buy? Is there enough size for a sustainable business to be built? Unfortunately, in the corporate world, we forget these fundamentals. And I forgot them also. When I talked about Max Vijay was an innovation we ran in insurance. Now, if I just paint a picture, let me see how we react. How many of you understand insurance? A little bit. Have you bought insurance policies, anybody? Right? What is insurance meant to do? Fundamentally, it is meant to give the family some cushion if something happens to the breadwinner. That's the fundamental purpose. Now, who needs insurance the most? But who needs the most? The daily wage worker, the rickshaw puller, the security guard, who has no means of alternate income. But guess what? They don't have the money to buy insurance. What an irony. So we thought, what can we do for these masses? Of course, we were an organization for profit. We said, what can we do? And we went around talking to them. And we discovered the biggest problem they have is they can't give a regular premium. Because the income is certainly empty. Right? Then we also discovered that they also buy their ration daily. Right? But when they buy the ration, there is some change. उस समय में 1 रुपया, 2 रुपया, 5 रुपया, उसका होता क्या था? चेंज वापस नहीं मिलती थी. कभी टोबैको, कभी कैंडी वेस्ट हो जाती थी. So we said, what can we do to collect this change, put it into a savings account, and we give insurance as a multiple of the balance of savings account. So they will not feel the pain. They can deposit 1 rupee daily, 2 rupees daily, monthly, whatever they want, and they get insurance. What a beautiful idea. And we worked with Amitabh Bachchan as a brand ambassador and Piyush Pandey, who said, okay, let's call it Auqat Par Vijay. Vijay was Amitabh Bachchan's name in most movies, right? So good wins over evil. Auqat means that a peon's son need not be a peon. A rickshaw puller's daughter need not be a rickshaw puller. So how do you win over your destiny? What a powerful concept, right? But it had to be sold through the Kriana store, the pan wala, the chemist, the grocery store. That also we innovated. And we put small points of sale machine through IBM over there to capture this change and make a savings product for them. However, we forgot one fundamental principle. Why will this Kriana store person, why will this sabji wala, why will this chemist sell the insurance? Because in 10-15 minutes, he would sell 20 packs of cigarette or 6 toothpaste or 7 soaps and make more money. And we didn't have enough commission in the chain to give them that money. Now look at this idea, such a beautiful revolutionary idea, right? But it lacked a fundamental question, how will it make money? So जब निर्माण करो ना this idea का, please make sure you understand how will this idea make money is crucial. Without that you will fail. So third is Nirman. So Nirman and Nirman, N3. The last one is my favorite. I'm a very old school leader. I still believe in discipline, attending the office every day, attending meetings on time, having notes, etc. So I call it FDR. Focus, discipline, resilience. You see in the corporate world, we keep on searching for breakthrough ideas, innovations, blue sky thinking, orbit shifting interventions will produce success. But honestly, 90% of success in the corporate world is from staying the course, determination, passion, inspiration, discipline by a few humble, tenacious individuals. That's been my discovery. Focus on discipline, focus on habits. There's a wonderful book by James Clear called Atomic Habits. You must read it. It really tells you what to do every day to create success. And just focus on the inputs, the output will come. I mean, 3 days back somebody asked me the question, कि आपका stock price इतना अच्छा क्यों कर रहा है? Frankly, I struggle to give a very intelligent answer. I don't know how the market works. All we do is focus on performance. So focus, Discipline, resilience. And the last one, I think both Gurveer and Anilji already alluded to. Inspiration is an inside job. If you think it will come from the promotion, the applause, calling you on the stage or pat on the back, you are mistaken. It comes from inside, from impacting lives, from putting smiles on people's faces, from hugging your colleague who's going through a down moment, from taking care of your health, your family, enjoying the sport, going on a holiday that you cherish. So please be balanced. Career is very important. I also learned it the hard way. Right? I focused disproportionately on career for the first 20 years of my life. Right? But please lead a balanced life. You people are fortunate to have the option of leading a balanced life. Right? So please do that. Focus on inspiration inside you, not outside. So you're really, you must express your gratitude. You're really fortunate to be bestowed with what the universe has given you. As you sit here, you're a very small percentile of the population who has access to resources that you have. So live in gratitude. May God be with you and realize your dreams. Thank you and namaskar.